Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the pool party. I hope you can swim because we're definitely diving into the deep end with a huge splash of truth, facts, evidence, information, and proof. Swim. Say what you mean. It's talk about talking. How we listen, how we hear, how we speak, how we hear what we're listening to when we speak, how a listener hears what we're saying, if what we're saying, what they're actually hearing and or understanding. Is it clear? Swim. Say what you mean. Well, that's just the beginning of understanding, because after we get that understanding, how do we accept it? How we respond if it's not what we expect is paramount. Are you okay with the truth? Are you man, woman, human, or spiritual enough to accept the truth? Let's find out. Welcome to The Swimming Pool with your host, Travis Bridges.
Hey! What's happening? Can y'all hear me? This is going to be kind of different and a little bit weird, but I'm going to come on in a few seconds. So this is me live because I promised to be live. However, I know it's black and I have a canned show that's coming up in just a few more seconds. So now that my music is gone, I'm going to go to a commercial, and when I come back, I will be still live, but just slightly different. Y'all okay with that? I'll be right back in about 35 seconds. Hang on.
Mighty Horn Music. Smooth jazz, top 40, R&B, inspirationals, and more. Live from the Hollywood Home Studio. Like, share, subscribe. And thanks for tuning in.
Good evening and welcome to SWIM. SWIM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean. I am Travis Bridges, and thank you for joining me. Tonight is going to be very short. At least I think it's going to be short, and I'm going to go ahead and admit why it's going to be short. It's because I'm not a big sports fan, but I do get into sports when it gets down to the wire. Particularly as it relates to basketball and baseball, and even sometimes my favorite football. I can't watch all the games because my life and my lifestyle won't allow me to do it. But when it gets to the playoffs and the finals, and it starts to get intense, I get put in that group like my other friends will call me bandwagon jumpers. Well, I'm not a bandwagon jumper. I have certain teams that I like, and I like the teams that I like. But I do jump on the sports band the closer it gets to the intensity of the game. I guess it's like cooking. You know, when your food is simmering or when the pot is heating up, you don't pay attention to it too much. But, you know, if it takes you 40 minutes to cook something and it starts getting, into the 30-minute range, you start looking at it a little bit more. And right up on that, 35 minutes or so, you're really intense until you turn the fire off and or remove the cooking utensil from the stove or the fire itself. So I guess sports is kind of like that for me. I'm sure it's like that for many other people. Then, of course, I have, friends and people that I know who watch every game, of every season. I won't even talk about what their lifestyle is like. But anyway, my lifestyle won't allow me to do that. So I'm going to cut it short tonight because there is a game tonight that I do want to see, and I am representing, and I've been wearing this like all day, and I'll probably wear it, without even washing it till the end of the playoffs because I've got high hopes and I'm happy about my Miami Heat. Anyway, hope you are a Heat fan, and thank you for the prayers. Anyway, the title of my topic or live stream tonight is Real Good and True. Real Good and True / Friends or OB. I'll repeat that. Real Good and True. Friends or OB. Well, I'm sure you know what real good and true means, and you know what friends are, but what are you talking about, OB, man? Well, I'll tell you. OB in this case is opportunistic bystanders. Those are the people in our lives who wait for the golden moment, regardless of what it is. I, after living so long, have convinced myself, based on experience, that everybody that I know now, that I have known, and that I probably will know, is in my life for a reason. Some good, some not so good. But there's a payoff. There are some friends that we have that provide different levels of comfort and or conveniences for us. We can't be everything to everybody all the time. There are people that I'm really close to. There are people that I'm not close to at all. There are people that I really appreciate. And there are people that I guess I can live without. But there is no one on the whole face of the earth that I just flat out despise. I may not like how they are or sometimes what they do, but I really do love the human race. I really do love and care for people, so I don't hate anyone. And I'm going to speak about myself first. Yes, I have friends, colleagues, and even family members that I guess I get my payoff in a different way. And I guess I could be looked at wrongly if I, use the term payoff. I'm just using that for lack of a better word. But there's something we get when we call people or text them that we appreciate. Maybe it's the way they talk to us. Maybe it's, the way they make us feel, or the way we respond to what they do that causes us to feel a certain way. But everyone has an agenda. And of course, that's not the best word because it could be mistaken. I don't literally mean, a negative intention as much as I just mean a typical playoff. And I'm learning that everyone has that quality or characteristic. And you see it play out based on the expectation of who we have around us or who we act with. If you expect someone to say something nice to you and they don't say it, you're going to have a little attitude if you're not checking yourself. If you expect someone to do something or be a certain kind of way and they don't do it, you're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem because I want to be included too. And I guess it's just like when you want to buy, the purple sports car or the blue or green sports car. The moment you decide that you're going to buy it, you start seeing them everywhere. So that's how I'm going to describe my situation. The more I now think about, this situation of real, true, and good, or OB, opportunistic bystanders, I kind of start to see it a whole lot more. And not only in other people, but in myself. So again, I'm going to stick with myself instead of talking about other people. Are there people that I appreciate? Yes. Are there people that I need? Yes. Are there people that provide more for me than I do for them? Yes. And that shoe fits, on the other foot as well. I guess there are people that I share more with, give more to, and do more for myself without looking for or expecting anything. And the moment I find myself expecting from someone I have to do what I'm calling checking myself, because I don't want to become psychologically, mentally, emotionally, financially, physically dependent upon no one. Of course, there are occasions where we all need help sometimes, financially, physically. Sometimes if you fall, you need someone to help you up. If you're fresh out of, the hospital, you need someone to tend to you. And if you, God forbid, you're low on money and you've got a friend that, loves you enough like that, you can extend, financial benefits to someone, and vice versa. Someone can do it for you as well. But I guess the overall message I want to send tonight is be careful how we respond to people, and the amount of pressure that we put on people to be what we need them to be, as opposed to accepting who they are. It's very important. It really is. And again, I don't want to exclude myself. There have been times in my life, maybe there are times now, maybe because I've reached this level of maturity, maybe it doesn't happen as often. I have been accused in my lifetime of being maybe tough or maybe even insensitive, and I can see how I could be perceived that way. But it's not true. I'm a very sensitive guy, a very sensitive person. However, I learned some time ago to not necessarily allow my sensitivity or my emotions or my feelings to dominate reality, or at least what's a reasonable expectation in life. So, with that being said, I'm encouraging myself to be mindful of how not only we can expect certain things from other people, that we don't allow ourselves to be sucked in to dancing to every song that someone may put on, because people that are needy will likely not admit it, but they will suck you dry if you're not careful. And we can do the same thing to other people. So again, my message is just to keep it balanced. Listen. Our friends and our family will tell us what they want and what they need. If you can provide what someone wants or needs, then by all means, ration your time, your finances, your ability to be available to someone. Ration it out, because you don't want to give so much that you totally lose yourself. But let's just try to keep a balance. Don't expect too much from someone, and don't allow anyone to expect too much of you, because that balance can be taxing on our health and our mental health at that. So, next time someone gets upset with you, it's because of something they're expecting that you either did not, could not, or chose not to deliver. And the next time you decide you're going to have an attitude about something someone is either doing or not doing, or something you're expecting, check yourself. No one owes us anything, unless maybe they have made a commitment. If you're married and your spouse says they are going to be there for you and they're not, then maybe you can cry for a little while, or maybe you can complain or make suggestions for a little while. But we have to be strong enough to know that we came here alone. We get the opportunity to share part of our lives with people, but we're going to leave here alone. And if ever there's a time where we are not connected to or with somebody, it's okay. We can sustain ourselves, and other people can sustain themselves. So we don't have to feel guilty if we're not emptying ourselves to or for someone else's cause. Real, true, and good friends, or opportunistic bystanders. Which one are you, and which one are you catering to? Someone who's real, someone who's good, someone who is true, or someone who is just waiting for an opportunity to get what they want or need. Maybe all of them. I'm going to tell this story and then I'm going to shut down and get back to the game. There's always this question, whether it's on social media or when people are dating, or you've heard it, can men and women be just friends? I'm going to say yes in most cases, and even yes in most cases. But as a man myself, as a heterosexual man who loves and appreciates the opposite sex, women, and an attractive woman, sure, I can be friends with an attractive woman, and I've been friends with an attractive woman. But just like a snake can and will bite you, a man or a woman having the right opportunity can and will break that friendship that we talk about. Can a man and a woman be friends? Yeah, they can. I'm going to leave it right there. Okay? Real, true, and good. Real, true, and good. Friends or opportunistic bystander. I hope I'm saying that right. Just before I go, I want to talk about what I've been doing over the last few days. A very good friend of mine shared a book with me. It's a Stephen A. Smith's book. It's called Straight Shooter. I'm not a big reader, but I've been really putting my time in reading this book, primarily because I really want, to see what it's like to actually read a whole book. I've read many books before, I'm just kidding, but I put them down and I go back to them, and I hardly ever consistent. I can count, the books that I've read on maybe 3 sets of hands in my life. Consistently, I read a little and I put it down, but this one has really gotten to me, and I thank my friend for sharing it with me. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to go ahead and say I resonate with quite a bit that's in this book, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm not a book recommender, but if you get the opportunity to pick up a copy of Straight Shooter, a memoir of second chances and first takes from Stephen A. Smith, it's a pretty good book. I'm about 3/4 away through the book, and I'm excited about it, and I want to take this moment to promote my book. The more I read, what he's doing and how he's doing it, I'm also thinking about, what I'm expecting. When people open their lives up through writing manuscripts such as his and what I'm doing, we're being vulnerable in our own way, and that's what I'm doing. I'm finishing up my book, and it's a lot of information in there, and I don't know what it's going to do, but it feels good. Just like the 2 CD projects that I produced, I didn't do it necessarily to become famous or popular, but I did it because it was a self-fulfilling type thing for me, and the book is the same way. There's a lot of things in there that I'm glad I got the opportunity to share and talk about, and I don't mind sharing it with you. I hope you enjoy it when it does. But in the meantime, if you get the opportunity to pick up Stephen A. Smith's book, Straight Shooter, check it out. It's not bad. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Hope you're having a great month already, and hope that you will enjoy the rest of your week. Remember to keep your head up. There can be no sunshine without the rain. There can be no joy without a little bit of pain. Learn to be strong in the tough times, and learn to recognize if and when we can help someone else to do it. But if we can't, and it's going to cost us more than we can extend, it's okay to say no. Keep a smile on your face, okay? Have a great evening. Find someone you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it, but mean it, okay? Good night.
Swimming Pool with Travis Bridges is a talk segment about talking. Talk about talking? Yes, talk about talking. It's designed to bring awareness to how we listen, how we hear, and what we do with the information we receive during communication. The mind is automatically programmed to protect the body and soul. It displays that through each and every encounter we experience. If any part of the body is threatened, the mind will automatically issue the flight command. The flight command to retreat to safety. Well, that same command is also deployed when our ego is threatened. The ego, yes, the ego. It's so natural and common, it happens oftentimes without us even knowing. Engaging in conversation and staying focused on what is present is considered mental fitness. It strengthens our emotions and helps us to gain control of our circumstances instead of having our circumstances overtake our thinking and our very existence. It's a difficult task to achieve because our feelings, beliefs, and desires are so strong that it causes us to totally disregard even the most common or basic reasoning. This live stream is only here to bring awareness to that subconscious process. Nothing or no one is actually wrong. However, the idea of being open to anything outside of what we've already concluded is golden, especially if the new information is transparent. The Swim developers would like to say thanks for supporting, watching, listening, and sharing this information. Now, back to the swimming pool. Let's dive in and swim. SWYM. Swim. Say what you mean. As much as this information is designed to bring awareness to how we listen, hear, and process, it is also a form of therapy. The little person inside of all of us needs to be heard. As adults, even listening to ourselves is a form of healing, strengthening, and growth. It's okay to speak, talk, express yourself, and be heard, even if you're the only listener. If our testimony does anything at all for anyone else, that makes the continued effort worth the time. Get the words out. You'll feel better, and that's a promise. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
You know, sometimes it seems like all the good times are gone. But you got to keep on searching. You got to keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. For example, take me standing right here today. I would not be here with you if I believed the things that the people say. You got to keep on searching.